Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.
You are an expert in internet, I think, in all things that it has to be with internet. Let's start with something easy. It's e-commerce, commerce in internet. New, something that came to be, something that you have to do.
Well, e-commerce or commerce based on the network is actually not that new. It's been around for quite a while. Amazon has been a successful enterprise for almost 18 years now. It just seems new because there are innovations and new opportunities all the time. Because there are innovations and new opportunities all the time, it is also very, very interesting. Not only is it a very wide market for products, for services, for the kinds of conveniences and innovations, it is also a very wide field for creativity. So electronic commerce has been new for a generation almost, and it will be new for the next generations. Of course, there are threats. There are problems with security. There are problems with addiction. There are problems with uncertainty. There are some branches and occupations and products that get pushed out and are no longer valid. But this is true for all of life, not just for electronic commerce. I think the challenge that I'm interested in is in learning the opportunities in electronic commerce, figuring out the threats in electronic commerce, preparing the next generation for activity in the fields of electronic commerce, and most importantly, making use of what new opportunities are made for all of us.
One of the questions that many people ask is, e-commerce is for everybody, it's just for big companies, it's just for people that that have a small business. It is for everybody. Everybody can go in. It's a good opportunity. It has to be made.
Well, two questions. One, is it good for the big guys or for the small guys? And the other question is, should we seize the opportunity? In terms of who is it good for, I think the answer is pretty much everybody. There are a variety of business models that are available. There is B2C that is of interest to the single consumer and also of interest to the retailer. There's B2B that is of interest to the big companies, the empresas, the big corporations. These cannot afford to ignore it, and these cannot afford to ignore it. Oftentimes they meet on different grounds. The question of whether we need to seize on these opportunities or steer away, I think has already been settled. We, for 20 years now, have been discussing the meeting place between traditional economic activity and new economic activity that is market-mediated. When it is market-mediated, all sorts of things happen. For example, what we get is a lot of disintermediation. We get a lot of opportunity for a producer to contact the consumer directly with fewer intermediaries. That's an interesting threat to the intermediaries. We also see, on the other hand, new opportunities for intermediaries, for web companies to come up, for search engines to become very rich, for social media to become a major broker in the activity. And so what looks like a threat on one instance might be a great opportunity if well understood and well taken advantage of on another opportunity. Electronic commerce is an opportunity where many of the laws are being rewritten. We're rewriting the laws regarding value. We're rewriting the laws regarding mediation. We're rewriting the laws regarding modes of payment. We are rewriting the laws regarding privacy. We are rewriting the laws regarding government regulation. We are rewriting the laws regarding how efficient markets operate. We are even rewriting the laws regarding whether things can be handed out for free. One of the most fascinating aspects of electronic commerce is that a large portion of goods and services are suddenly expected to be free. This is a new world, sometimes enigmatic, sometimes worth exploring, sometimes very surprising, sometimes incredibly frustrating. But it's a whole set of new laws. Therefore, it requires study. It requires vigilance on the part of anyone active in economics, and it is also a whole new set of opportunities. In many ways, it's a gold rush.
For many business, they think that being in e-commerce is just to have a website, and if it's cheap or it's free, it's better than just to spend in it. Maybe you think it's that the way, or you have to see that like a business and and it has an expense, and you have to do something correct, right, and not just to expect it to be free.
Well, I talked earlier about rewriting the rules. Some rules are not rewritten in electronic commerce. The rule that there is really no such thing as a free lunch still abides. The rule that you need to buy cheap and sell dear still abides. It is still true that you get value only for things that you pay for. So if you try to run the free route, you need to know exactly what you're looking for. When businesses are trying to understand internet as an opportunity to get things in the cheapest manner without cost, I think they are misreading the internet.
You came from the University of Haifa. You have there a very interesting internet research center. What has been the most interesting, let's say, discovering? What have you find? What is the way that it's coming in internet now? Tell us something just to know, to be in advance about that.
I can't tell you about a single most advanced project because we have a variety of projects, but we're doing some really interesting collaborations with industry. We are working with IBM Research on a big project. We're working with Yahoo Research on a big project. We've worked with Microsoft and Google on big projects. We've done some interesting projects with the government ministries in Israel.
Tell us about one of them.
I will tell you. A theme that goes through many of these projects is our interest in two major issues. We are interested in sharing. One thing that happens on the internet very easily is sharing. People can share ideas, they can share opinions, they can share projects, they can share creation events, they can share efforts. Mechanisms for sharing are something we're only just beginning to learn how to build. There are some spectacular successes. An example is the Wikipedia. Wikipedia in all languages, in English and Spanish and Hebrew and Arabic, in all languages, in almost 200 languages now, is a huge cultural sharing effort, project that is unprecedented. We are learning how this works. It is interesting because it isn't based on original, well-understood economic principles. No money changes hands. It is also not managed in well-understood organizational management hierarchies. We have a new world here, a world with different senses of hierarchy, different senses of value and economy, and we have some interesting observations, some findings on what makes for better sharing. I said the theme that ties most of our projects has two issues. One is sharing. The other, maybe even more interesting, is our interest in play. We are really interested in play. Playing, it turns out, is something people like to do. All children do it unabashedly. Many adults do it unabashedly as well. Play is...
It just changed the kind of game.
They just changed the kind of game, exactly. Play is a very, very powerful way of learning. It's also a very powerful way of instituting change. So it's useful for children when they learn how to speak or how to write or how to read or how to behave. It is also useful for managers in organizations when they try to institute some organizational development. This is called gamification. Play and gamification work very well on the internet. There's a whole set of tools and insights regarding how to institute play. There is play built into eBay and Amazon. There's play built into Facebook and Twitter. There's play built into Wikipedia and Quora. We are very interested in play. In my previous job, I was head of the Graduate School of Management at the university, and I looked for a way to institute much more sharing and also much more play into our MBA courses. Did both of these through the internet. We are doing much more simulations, computerized and networked simulations online now, because the process of play is incredibly important in training and learning. Pilots learn through using simulation and play. Military officers learn through using simulation and play. Teachers learn through using simulation and play. And we are looking for new ways to incorporate play and gamification. We're doing this in projects with the Israel Broadcasting Authority, with IBM, with Yahoo, and with others. We're interested in ways in which the network and computers can be used to increase sharing locally and internationally. I'm hoping to find ways to bring this into Jewish education internationally. We're looking at ways to...
We can help you with that.
We're looking at ways to incorporate more of these two ideas, online, network-based, sharing and playing, into a variety of fields. Some of them are purely business, some of them are manufacturing, some of them are teaching, some of them are military, some of them are diplomatic. We're looking at using play tools to investigate doing democracy better on a local level.
Everything playing?
Everything through using the notions of play. In teaching management, historically, we have relied on more traditional tools, such as hierarchy, organizational charts, reward mechanisms. Play is an alternative that is worth looking at. It's interesting, it's novel, and it is exciting.